Recently, I've been getting a lot of ads for guillotine shaped earrings, and that delights me. Now, before you think this is some kind of edgy Gen Z thing, it's not. It's actually an edgy 1700s, and I'm living through a violent revolution during which the king and my family are being killed by revolutionaries thing. Because during the French Revolution, after King Louis XVI and Queen Marie Antoinette had been executed by guillotine, these guillotine-shaped earrings kind of became a trend. Some of them were extra spicy. They had a little drawing of the king's head fallen down at the bottom of the guillotine. Now, these versions with the king's head were probably worn by people who were pro-revolution and anti-monarchy. However, most of this guillotine jewelry was worn by royalists as sort of commemorative pieces. And interestingly, guillotine jewelry was not the only influence that these executions had on royalist fashions. Because in the 1790s, after it became clear that the revolution was going to fail, a whole new style developed amongst young people who were sort of like the survivors of the aristocratic circles, who thousands of them had been executed during the revolution. Their parents had probably been executed, a lot of their other family members, and they were still around. And they developed a style that was based on the way that their family members would have looked during their execution. And this style became known as the costume des victimes. One key element of the costume des victimes was the haircut. Here the hair was usually cut short, especially at the back of the head. This comes probably from two different things. One is that a lot of women would cut off their hair before execution to pass it on to their family to remember them by. And the second thing is that allegedly sometimes people's long hair was cut off at the back so that the executioner could see their neck better and place them more easily on the guillotine so that the blade would be in the right place. The second element of the costume des victimes was the shift or nightgown, like white dress. And this would reference the fact that most people were executed wearing just their undergarments. And third, a lot of women who wore the costume des victimes would wear a red choker, and this was very literally supposed to represent the wound that had killed their relatives on the guillotine. So if anybody wants to tell you that your outfits are too dramatic, tell them to chill. You're nowhere near as dramatic as traumatized aristocrats literally call